I want to just start um, in this video by exposing PayPal debit, prepaid, not the prepaid, but PayPal debit. Okay, because you have PayPal credit. So to make the story short, me and my wife's phone was shut down, transferred, and I believe it was one of those phone companies that had our information. Transferred both our phone numbers to another location to another company, and we was in the dark, so they had all our information from GPay and everything else, and all our information stolen and hacked. And she had her cards charged. I had a lot of cards charged, all our credit cards. Um, I called PayPal credit, and they looked and they said, yes, this is definitely fraud. It'll be in your favor. Well, I called PayPal debit. PayPal debit said, oh, this seems like fraud. Well, we'll make sure you get your money back. So I said, okay, no problem. So all of a sudden, I started getting these texts, and these texts were saying that um, your your uh, your case has been denied. Your claims have been denied. And I said, how is that? So they explained to me. They said, well, it's they said it matches your spending habits. And I said, that's not the case because I never used a debit card on this account since I had it. It was an account that I downloaded small deposits for amount of time, small deposits. It was originally like I had it for my youngest son. So it built up over time. And between one particular time in January for 4 days, all these charges came through. And they said, when they started denying my claims, that these were normal spending habits. I don't think $475 in Nordstrom's 3 times in a row qualifies for normal spending habits. Okay, transferred money. My wife's debit card was linked to this account, and they transferred the money out of her account, out of PayPal, and put it in her account and opened up her accounts under Wells Fargo. Now, Wells Fargo caught it and said, clearly this is fraud. You had a full identity takeover. Call US Bank, call Discover. Everybody knew this was fraud. But for whatever reason, this PayPal debit, they couldn't see this being fraud, even though Synchrony Bank, because I had an account with them too, Synchrony Bank, who is linked to PayPal debit, said, yes, this is fraud. PayPal credit looked at this same situation and said, this is out of the normal of the spending habits. This is fraud. So I keep calling back. I'm on the phone with them for a week or so, getting these people to sound like they said they was in the Filipinos or somewhere, so some of it I couldn't understand. And it was the worst decision with this bank. You would think that, you have your money in this bank, that you would be safe. For all that, I could have kept my own money. So it seems like I was the victim of fraudulent activities, but also a victim of the bank. And this is the killer. I called them back because the denials was being appealed, and I wanted an appeal. And as I called them back 3 or 4 more times, while I was on the phone with the PayPal debit representative, I had $79 left in the account after thousands was taken. So I had $79 in this account. And by the time I got off the phone with them, I was negative 27. Now, mind you, this account is shut down. There's supposed to be no more activity. So I talked to the PayPal representative and I said, this is clearly fraud. You can see this, right? He said, yes, Mr. So-and-so, I can see this is fraud. Well, what do you know? They're still denying. They approved some on a particular day of January. They approved some on that day, but other charges on that same day, okay, they're denying. So how is it that on one particular day I have all these charges, or a few of these charges, they're approving and saying that this is unauthorized, but on the other days, on the other charges, on the same day, they're saying these seems like normal usual spending habits. So I guess the thief or whoever, I let him do his charges and he gave me the card and I did my charges. Bottom line is I never had a debit card on this account. It was always small deposits. It was, this is pure fraud, on this bank's behalf. Beware of PayPal debit.